What is going on? We got day 24 of the bulk filler episode. It's our first filler episode of the series. Why is it filler episode? Because I'm not working out. Terrible, I know. I'm not working out. It sucks. I'm actually not working out the entire week, which is terrible. I know, I'm itching to go. But it's for personal reasons. I had to take the week off from working out. I got an autoimmune disease, so I got to take the week, making sure my health is in check, getting some procedures done, taking care of everything, making sure I'm good to go. So, if you're ever in a position like that where you know you're going to have to take a week off from working out, maybe the fam's going on vacation, and you just know there's no way in heck you're going to be able to get to the gym while you're on vacation. What I did is I took last week's workouts and I made them exceptionally more difficult, like just intense-wise. So like I did to failure every set, and I did like a drop set for almost every set, and I just completely destroyed every muscle because I know I'm not going to be working out this week. And now, since I completely destroy my muscles that week, more than I normally do, it's going to take even longer for my muscles to recover. So during this week of not working out, at least some of that time will be allotted to still recovering, as compared to not just training so hard and hitting it more frequently. So that's what I'm doing this week. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best option. Obviously, the best option is to still work out, but I mean, it's better than nothing. So yeah, filler episode. Today, I mean, it's gonna be something different every day for this week of the filler. It's usually how it goes. Today, I'm probably just gonna go over, diet, and show you my training program again, a little update on that. And shit, you'll see. I'll throw some other stuff in there. I mean, that's pretty much what filler is. I'll just give you guys something, because I do want to film this week, keep the series going. Yeah, enough yapping. Let me show you guys a little something. All right, I'm gonna show you guys the ideal day of eating during this off season. So check it out, 4,500 calories. You should eat around 180 to 215 grams of quality protein, like from meat sources or whey protein, 80 grams of fat, and then however many carbs to equal 4,500 calories. Usually the carbs from this is around upwards of 600 grams of carbs. So let's dive into the meals. We got, how many meals is there? 6 meals? Yeah. 6 meals, somewhat evenly distributed. So you got meal 1, breakfast, around 9 a.m., the morning shake. Now, if you didn't see my full day of eating from before, it's the same shake. Consists of, in case if you don't want to go back and check it, consists of 2 bananas, 120 grams of oats, that's about a cup and a half oats, 2 scoops of whey protein, 1 serving of flaxseed, 1 serving of just peanut butter, which is just natural peanut butter. And I think then put water in it, cold water, makes it less thick if you use water instead of milk, and blend it all together. It doesn't taste that bad. I mean, it's not like the best tasting shake, but it's definitely easy enough to get around, usually between 1,000 and 1,100 calories, depending on the size of the bananas. Smaller bananas, 2 smaller bananas, you usually get closer to 1,000. 2 large bananas, you get closer to 1,100. The max on that, 62 protein. 34 of that is quality protein. The 34 is from the whey. 27 grams of fat, 126 carbs for this specific amount of banana in it. Yeah. Meal 2, pre-workout, 3.9 ounces of lean chicken. That's cooked, by the way. I weigh chicken cooked, because I don't feel like weighing out. I don't meal prep each single thing of chicken, rice, whatever. I make a batch of it, and then I weigh it out as I go. So 3.9 ounces of cooked chicken, and then 600 grams of rice, white rice, for 45 protein, 35 quality, 4 fat, 115 carb, 693 calories. Meal 3, post-workout, 2 scoops whey protein, 120 grams of crispy rice cereal. That's pretty much just puffed rice. Puffed rice cereal, it can be literally any brand, and you can just see the ingredients is like rice, puffed rice, salt, and maybe a tiny bit of sugar, and that's it. And then 2 cups almond milk, max, 45 protein, 35 grams, quality, 8 fat, 107 carbs, 688 calories. And then you can see meal 4, 5, 6, basically all the same thing. 11 milliliters of EVOO, that's extra virgin olive oil. Now, do I stick to this diet? Absolutely not. I do not stick to this diet. I do like half of it. Realistically, this is what I stick to. I found it works for me. 180 grams quality protein. Usually my total protein count for the day gets somewhere upwards of like 250 because I still count the calories from like, there's protein in white rice, but I don't count that as my quality protein. So my total daily protein is probably like 250, but my quality source is about 180. Why 180? Because I mean, I weigh about like 215, a little over 215 right now, and my lean body mass is probably somewhere around 180, somewhere between 180 and 190. Like 190 is generous, but it's probably like 180. So 1 gram of quality protein per pound of lean body mass is what I go by, and it works for me. 125 to 150 grams of fat. Why? Because when I eat 180 grams of fat, which is like the lowest, basically the lowest amount of fat I could eat at this many calories, I feel terrible. My digestion is terrible. I need more fat in my diet. Why is the ideal one 80 grams of or 80 grams of fat? Because it leaves the availability of more carbs, and the more carbs, the fuel your workout. But I have no problem with this amount of fat in my diet, and I have plenty of carbs still to fuel my workouts. Yeah, so the rest is carbs. Usually, and when I eat like this, the amount of carbs usually ends up to being like 500 carbs, which is still a crazy amount in a day. Plenty enough to fuel my workouts, plenty enough to fuel my recovery, and I feel totally fine. This has worked for me at my previous bulk, and it still works for me for now. Oh, also, why 125 to 150 grams of fat? Well, 125 grams of fat at 4,500 calories is about 25% of my total daily calories. And I found about that range what works for me, and I make it a range because I don't want to go over 150 grams of fat, because I think 150 is 30% of my total daily calories, and I make it a goal not to go over that each day, because once you get over 30% of your calories just from fat, you're getting a little excessive amount of fat from your day. I mean, this is already the high end of like a low fat diet. Works for me. And yeah, so I'll go back to this part of the diet, because I don't completely adhere to the diet, but I don't also just blow the whole thing off. I do have meal 1, the morning shake, every day, even on rest days. Meal 2, it's usually pretty close to that, to where I have a very low fat meal for my pre-workout. It's usually chicken or ham, or that's probably it, canned tuna. And then I'll usually have rice, white rice, or pasta, or I'll make like a sandwich out of the chicken and then have some white rice on the side. I do like to keep it clean right before working out. Digestion feels good, and then I can also have a good fueled workout and be able to get through the whole thing without feeling tired. Now, meal 3, I do adhere to that as well. I do have 2 scoops of whey protein. I usually mix the whey protein into like a shaker bottle with almond milk, and then I'll have 120 grams of crispy rice cereal. It works for me. Feels good. I feel good after the workout. It's very light, but I still get plenty of protein and carbs after the workout. Now, meal 4, 5, and 6 is where it gets a bit wonky. I kind of eat a bunch of random stuff for meals 4, 5, and 6, because at this point in the day, I'm pretty full. Halfway through the day, I don't want to eat anymore. So instead of destroying my stomach and insides by eating 500 grams of rice 3 more times and 3.9 ounces of chicken, I do a little of junk food. So meal 4, I'll usually have probably chicken. I mean, chicken's my go-to on bulking and cutting. I'll have 3.9 ounces of chicken, about. And then I won't, maybe sometimes if I'm actually hungry still, I'll have like one of these meals, but more likely than not, I'm not hungry. So maybe I'll throw the chicken on a wrap, and I'll have some sun chips on the side. And then I basically fill in, like, I guess say junk food. It's mainly food that has more sugar than really actual quality carbs, like potato or pasta or rice. So I'll have the quality protein, and then I'll throw in junk food to fill like the calories for that meal. Which, being that I have 125 to 150 grams of fat, it gives me the availability to have junk food, because junk food not only is high in carbs, it's pretty high in fat. So yeah, I mean, 4, 5, and 6, gosh, whatever I'm feeling, have the quality of protein, and then eat whatever junk food with it. Now, is this, like I said, this is not really ideal, but it gets me through. It's working. I'm young enough to where I can do it and not hurt myself. I mean, I'm 20. If I'm like 30 and I'm doing this, I mean, I probably don't have good enough digestion at 30 to be able to eat junk food for 3 out of my 6 meals trying to be a bodybuilder. But I'm gonna take advantage of it while I'm here. I'm gonna enjoy it. So yeah, that is the diet. I think that's it for showing you my diet. That's kind of how my day goes. Now, training. Let's check it out. What do I got? Here, let me record this for you. Off-season workout 2.1. We got push day 1 that you guys have seen numerous times. This is how I write down everything. So 2 sets, 6 to 8 reps. 9 PV, that just means like there's like pins on where I can adjust the seat. I like to put the seat at the same level each time. So I'm really, what do you want to say? Picky on where I set up everything and make sure everything's exactly the same so I can measure my progress. 2 plates, 35 pounds. So I write it that way. So on each arm, it's plate loaded, so it's 2 plates, 35 pounds. And I got first set, I got 8 reps. Second set, I got 7 reps. 0 RIR. This means I went to failure on both of those sets. I put parentheses missed machine just because the last time I did this push day, I used a different incline machine just because someone was using the one I want, and I didn't feel like waiting. But yeah, other than that, I write down everything the same way. Dumbbell shoulder press, 3 by 8 to 10. You got the 80-pound dumbbells for 8, 75-pound dumbbells, 8, 70-pound dumbbell, 8. 0 reps in reserve, meaning I have no reps in reserve, failure. Yeah, pull day 1, you can see. I write it out all the same way. Legs. So this is basically all the workouts that you've been seeing over the past 22 days. This is how I write it down. Yeah, so let me get to the bottom of it, show you everything. And I wrote myself a little note at the bottom. Keep in mind these reps per set include doing an intensifier on all previous exercises. That's because, as you saw the past week, at the end of each exercise, like the last set, I did either a drop set or some type of intensifier. Meaning that, let's say I do an intensifier on incline dumbbell press, and I go to Smith machine shoulder press, I may not get as many reps as I normally do because I burn my muscle out even more doing incline the previous exercise, which also hits my shoulder, so that may affect my Smith machine, so I may not get as many. And I'm not going to say, oh, well, I didn't progress. I'm just going to take into account that I trained harder on the previous exercise. Now, what I'm going to do for starting back into my bulk after this week of not working out, I'm going to increase the amount of sets per muscle group incrementally. It's going to be somewhere around like 4 to 6 more sets. Probably like between 4 and 8 more sets per muscle. For example, like chest. Chest, I'm doing 2, 4, 6. Am I only doing 6 sets of chest right now? Yeah, I'm only doing 6 sets of chest right now, like directly. And I'm going to up it to, I think, 11 or 12. So the way I'm going to do that is change some of these from 2 sets per exercise to 3 sets, and then I'll add some more sets in there. Why? Why not just add more exercises and keep them 2 sets? Because I find if I do, for example, let's say I do 1 set for 12 different exercises for chest, I'm going to be in the gym for 3 hours. But if I do 4 exercises, 3 sets each of them, which is totals 12 sets, I'm not going to be in the gym for 3 hours. And the difference between those two is probably negligible. So I'd much rather save some time, up the amount of sets, and move on with my day. Yeah, that's what an example for chest, how I'm going to up the sets. Now, I'm doing that the same for all the muscle groups. Currently I'm trying to figure out, like, what do you want to say, benchmarks of progression per sets for me personally. So if I'm doing 12 sets of chest, starting my next phase of my bulk, that may work for me, but it may not work for you. Also vice versa. 12 sets of chest per week may work for you, but I may only need 8 sets, or I may need 15 sets. So it's kind of like a guessing game, but I mean, as long as you're progressing, you're in the right spot. I had someone ask me before, Devin, I'm doing only like 4 sets of biceps, and he showed me his whole workout routine, and I basically only have 4 sets of biceps and hardly any sets of everything in here. Is it enough? And I asked him, well, are you going up in weight and reps on every movement? He's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, well, I mean, you're progressing. Why change what you're doing? I mean, until you can't progress anymore on those sets, why add more extra volume if you're progressing right now? I mean, sure, you may, I don't know if this is true, get more out of it, but you also run the risk of that now you're not going to gain anymore because you can't recover. So if it's working, why on earth would you change it? So yeah, I think that's really it for today. I wanted to go over, show you guys what I'm actually doing in my workouts, because I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be eating 600 grams of white rice with chicken every meal. I mean, I'm not insane. I can live with some junk food and still get by and hit my calorie mark. And also my training. It's a little, what do you want to say? I like to overcomplicate my training. I find that fun. You may not want to overcomplicate it all. You kind of just want to go in there, know you're hitting 6 sets of chest and hit 6 hard sets and move on with your day. That's fine too. I mean, you're getting majority of the progression done just by doing that. Other than that, I mean, that's really it for today's filler episode. I mean, tomorrow, hopefully I do this. I may bring you guys to all-you-can-eat sushi, and I'll see how many sushi rolls I can get down. That may be tomorrow's episode, not entirely sure. I might be downing 100 pieces of sushi, like I did last time. For my birthday, and my birthday's end of January, I downed, too bad I didn't record it, I downed 101 individual pieces of sushi, which ended up being about like 13 or 14 rolls. I wanted to throw up, but we may do that tomorrow. So stay tuned. It's going to be something different for each of these filler episodes. That's all I got for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.